Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So, continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 14th chapter, the disappearance of Lord Krishna, text number 43 onwards. Api sthita pare bhunktastvam sambhojyan vridbalikan jagupsitam karma kinchit kritvanna yad akshamam. Have you not taken care of old men and boys who deserve to dine with you? Have you left them and taken your meals alone? Have you committed some unpardonable mistake which is considered to be abominable? So Yudhishthira Maharaj is questioning Arjun, who had just come back from Dwarka. It's a duty of it's a duty of a householder to first feed all the children, the old members of the family, the Brahmins, and the invalids. Besides that, an ideal householder is required to call for any unknown hungry man to come and dine before he himself goes to take his meals. He is required to call for such a hungry man thrice on the road. The neglect of this prescribed duty of a household, especially in the matter of the old women, old men and children, is unpardonable. So this was Prabhupada has mentioned this a few times in the Bhagavatam somewhere, that it's a duty of a householder that he should before himself eating, he should go out and three times he should call. If somebody is hungry, that person should come. If somebody is hungry, come. If somebody is hungry, come. Then if still nobody comes, then he should eat. But obviously these days it's not practical, because first of all we don't know who is going to show up on the door, and whether we would be able to receive him or not, we don't know. Of course, we try to find the loopholes in this injunction. So like in America, so we could go out and say in Hindi, "Are koi bhuka hai, aa jao, koi bhuka hai, aa jao." So obviously nobody would understand, so nobody would come. Or if you don't like the food, then you really go out. Are please, somebody please come and eat this food. I cannot eat it. So that's a different story. So you try to find the loopholes, but that's not the prescription. Why is it so? Because the householders are supposed to be charitable. So they are supposed to, because in early days, the sannyasis would be traveling, or the poor people would be there going hungry. But these days we cannot do that. So as much as possible, we should give charity, or we should try to feed the hungry people as far as possible. So this is what Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking: have you forgotten, or have you not taken care of old men and boys and did not feed them, and you ate yourself without feeding them? That's why you're not. You look so dejected. So Yudhishthira Maharaj is very concerned by looking at Arjun. Text 44. Kachit प्रेष्ठतम एनाथ हृदयनाथ बंधुना श्रुणयो अस्मि रहितो नित्यम मन्यसे ते अन्यथा नरुक. Or is it that you are feeling empty for all time because you might have lost your most intimate friend, Lord Krishna? Oh, my brother Arjun, I can think of no other reason for you becoming so dejected. So this is a final question that Yudhishthira Maharaj asked. You must have lost Krishna himself. That's why you're feeling so dejected. All the inquisitiveness of Maharaj Yudhishthir about the world situation was already conjectured by Maharaj Yudhishthir on the basis of Lord Krishna's disappearance from the vision of the world. And this was now disclosed by him because of the acute dejection of Arjun, which could not have been possible otherwise. So, even though he was doubtful about it, he was obliged to inquire frankly from Arjun on the basis of Sri Narad's indication. So, this was the final question he asked. So, he understood this must be the reason. That's why Arjun is feeling dejected. So, that finishes the 14th chapter. So, 15th chapter starts. The Pandavas retire timely. Text 1. Sutuvacha. Evam Krishna Sakha Krishno Bhratra Ragya Vikalpitaha Nana Shankaspadam Rupam Krishna Vishlesh Karshitaha. Sud Goswami said, Arjun, the celebrated friend of Lord Krishna, was grief stricken because of his strong feeling of separation from Krishna, over and above all Maharaj Yudhishthir's speculative inquiries. Being too much aggrieved, Arjun practically became choked up, and therefore it was not possible for him to reply properly to the various speculative inquiries of Maharaj Yudhishthir. So he was crying, he was choked up, he was grief stricken. Shokin Shukshad Vadan Hrit Sarojo Hat Prabha Vibhum Tame Va Anusmarannash Nashan Nashan Kot Pratibhashitum. Due to grief, Arjuna's mouth and lotus-like heart had dried up. Therefore, his body lost all luster. Now, remembering the Supreme Lord, he could hardly utter a word in reply. Krichrena sanstabhya shucha pani namrijya netrayo parokshena samunnadha pranayot kantya kataraha. With great difficulty, he checked the tears of grief that smeared his eyes. He was very distressed because Lord Krishna was out of his sight and he increasingly felt affection for him. Sakhyam Maitrim Sohridam Cha Sarathyadishu Sansmaran Niripam Agrajamityaha Bhashpa Gadgadya Gira. Remembering Lord Krishna and his well wishes, benefactions, intimate familial relations, and his chariot driving, Arjun, overwhelmed and breathed very heavily, breathing very heavily, began to speak. The Supreme Living Being is perfect in all relations with his pure devotee. Sri Arjun is one of the typical pure devotees of the Lord, reciprocating in the fraternal relationship. And the Lord's dealings with Arjun are displays of friendship of the highest perfect order. He was not only a well wisher of Arjun, but actually a benefactor, and to make it still more perfect, the Lord tied him into a family relationship by arranging Subhadra's marriage with him. And above all, the Lord agreed to become a chariot driver of Arjun in order to protect his friend from warfare risks. And the Lord became actually happy when he established the Pandavas to rule over the world. Arjun remembered all these one after another, and thus he became overwhelmed with such thoughts. So Arjun is so close to Krishna, such a dear friend of Krishna, that he is remembering everything that Krishna did for him, or the time he spent with Krishna. And he was becoming overwhelmed. Arjun Uvacha Vanchito Aham Maharaja Harina Bandhu Rupina Yen me aprihitam tejo deva vismapanam mahat. Arjun said, O king, the supreme personality of Godhead, Hari, who treated me exactly like an intimate friend, has left me alone. Thus my astounding power, which astonished even the demigods, is no longer with me. So Arjun is saying the supreme personality of Godhead, Hari. So he is now referring to him as the supreme personality of Godhead, and who treated me exactly like a like an intimate friend. So Arjun saying I wasn't qualified, but he still treated me like an intimate friend, has left me alone. And he's kind of agreeing to this, accepting this, that my astounding power, which astonished even the demigods, is no longer with me, because Krishna was actually the source of all the power that Arjun had. In Bhagavad Gita 10:41, the Lord says, anyone specifically powerful and opulent in wealth, strength, beauty, knowledge, and all that is materially desirable is to be considered but a product of an insignificant portion of the complete whole of my energy. So any power, or actually it is said any vibhuti, any extraordinary thing that we see in this material world, that somebody possesses power, maybe it's wealth, maybe it's knowledge or beauty or fame or renunciation, anything that we see in this material world is what? It's just a fragment of the insignificant portion of Krishna's total energy. This is our position in the material world. Just like when Lord Nrsimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyakashipu was considered the biggest terrorist of the universe. He terrorized the whole universe. Up to Brahmaloka, he had captured everything. Everything was in his control. And when Lord Nrsimhadev killed him, you know how he killed him. He put Hiranyakashipu on his lap and he just tear up his stomach with his nails. One of the scriptures, it is mentioned that when Lord Nrsimhadev tore up Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyakashipu's body was like that, it became like that, that it stuck between the nails of Lord Nrsimhadev. Insignificantly. Like with something is stuck within our nails, we just try to just get rid of it like that. We throw it away. So similarly, Lord Nrsimhadev, when he tore up Hiranyakashipu's body, his body was so insignificant. It just stuck in the nails of Lord Nrsimhadev and he just threw it away. He just casted it aside. And that Hiranyakashipu, he had terrorized the whole universe. Nobody could defeat him. So in front of Lord Nrsimhadev, he was nothing. Nothing actually. And just like when Vamandev was fighting with Hiranyaksha, how did he kill Hiranyaksha? Okay, it went on, the fight went on for some time because Lord Vamandev wanted it, he was enjoying it. Oh, I'm sorry, Lord Varadev was enjoying it. But how he killed Hiranyaksha? He just tapped very lightly he tapped underneath his ears, underneath the ears of Hiranyaksha. And Hiranyaksha fell down dead. Hiranyaksha was such a big demon, such a powerful demon, that when Hiranyakashipu went for tapasya and Brahmaji gave him benedictions, of course, after Hiranyaksha was dead. But before that, Hiranyaksha was trying to do tapasya, but demigod disturbed him. He was already so powerful. Demigod said, if he does tapasya, then uh, how we gonna handle him? So this was the power of Hiranyaksha. And Lord Varadev, what did he do? He just stabbed little bit under his ears with his hoofs, with his lotus hoofs. And Hiranyaksha died. So anything that we have, that we see, anything astounding, anything extraordinary we see in this material world is nothing but an insignificant portion of the tiny fragment of his energy. Yadyad vibhuti mat sattam shrit mad urjitameva tatav ete vavgachatam mam tejo ansha sambhavam. Krishna said this, just a part of insignificant portion of my complete energy. whatever we see in this material world. When the Lord descends on the earth along with his eternal, ever liberated associates, he not only displays the divine energy possessed by himself, but he also empowers his associate devotees with the required energy to execute his mission of incarnation. It's also stated in Bhagavad Gita that the Lord and his eternal associates descend on the earth many times. But the Lord remembers all the different roles of incarnations, whereas the associates, by his supreme will, forget them. So, this is the special position of Krishna, that he remembers all the different roles of incarnations, but associates, they forget. Because Krishna tells Arjun that you, I, and all these kings were always present. And we are present now, and we'll always be there, individually present. The power and energy which were bestowed upon Arjun were required for fulfillment of the mission of the Lord. But when his mission was fulfilled, the emergency powers were withdrawn from Arjun, because the astounding powers of Arjun, which were astonishing even to the denizens of heaven, were no longer required. And they were not meant for going back home, back to Godhead. So, very nice thing that Prabhupada is writing, that Arjun got his powers because Prabhupada is writing, they were the emergency powers given to Arjun because Krishna had a mission to be fulfilled. And after Krishna left for the spiritual world, he withdrew all the powers that were given to Arjun. So, for many reasons. First, Arjun should humbly understand his position of a servant of Krishna. And through Arjun, actually, we should understand. Nothing belongs to us. We don't have any power except when it is given to us by Krishna. Whatever powers or whatever qualities, capabilities we have, basically we have leased them from Krishna. And whenever Krishna wants, whenever his work is finished, or whenever, if we are not engaged in his service, then we are engaged in Maya's service. So whenever Maya's work is done, means whenever we are going to die, Krishna removes those powers. For those who are serving Maya, for those who are serving Krishna, Krishna lets us enjoy as long as his mission is getting fulfilled. But as soon as his mission is finished, he removes the powers from devotees also. Why? Because devotees might get proud. And many times they do get. And Krishna does not like pride in his devotees. So he removes those powers. So the devotees don't misuse those powers. And another thing, like we read, Krishna is Shri Bhagwan himself. Bhagwan means full of 6 opulences: wealth, wealth, strength, beauty, knowledge, fame, and renunciation. And Krishna is full of them, full of all these powers. He has them all to the topmost degree. That's what Krishna is. So none of these qualities which we can have to a very negligent degree can attract Krishna towards us. If I think I have so much of wealth, that will attract Krishna. That he will give me bhakti, or he will give me darshan. Not gonna happen. If I am very beautiful or good looking, if that is going to attract Krishna, Krishna is like the word Krishna means sarva akarshati iti Krishna. Means Krishna attracts everybody with his beauty or with all his qualities. So if we think because I am so beautiful, which we are not anyway, the Krishna will be attracted to me. No. Or if I am so learned, means I have so much of knowledge. What kind of knowledge we can have? We can only recite few shlokas, whichever we have memorized in very difficult way. That's all. We can speak little bit philosophy, which we have studied from Prabhupada's books, or the books written by, say, maybe Ved Vyas or any of the acharyas. We haven't even uh, come up with our own philosophy. So what, Krishna is going to be attracted by that? No. Similarly, if we have strength, very huge strength, if we have big body, we can do wonderful things. In front of Krishna, it's nothing. Krishna lifted the whole Govardhan hill on the tip of his pinky finger of the left hand, not even the right hand, of the left hand, for 7 days. Who can be more stronger than Krishna? Or if I think because my renunciation, I'm so renounced, I'm so much detached from the material world, that is going to attract Krishna. No. Krishna is more renounced than anybody. He has all the renunciation in him. Even Bhishma Pitama told Krishna that everybody calls me a big brahmachari, but you are a bigger brahmachari than me. Because you would be with the gopis and still not be attached to them. Bhishma Pitama said, I am a brahmachari because I never came in contact with ladies. But you were always in contact with beautiful gopis, and not just one or two, millions and millions of them. Still, you will not get attached. So you're a bigger brahmachari than I am. So none of these things, none of these qualities, none of these capabilities will attract Krishna. He has them in all. And he is the one who leases us these qualities, these strengths. So what is it that attracts Krishna to a devotee? His service attitude, his humble position, is taking up a humble position. That's what attracts Krishna. So that is what we have to develop. Arjun himself is saying, because Krishna is gone, I don't even have the strength. Because that incident will come later on in this chapter only, what had happened. So when he realized he has no strength left because Krishna is gone. He might be having the same muscles, same Gandiv bow was there, same capability of shooting the arrows was there, but the strength was not there. Strength means to to really conquer over the enemies. That strength was not there. So similarly, we have to understand what is our position. What do we have actually? Nothing. If we have a big house, big bank balance, good body, good knowledge, beauty, or we are even completely detached, none of these will attract Krishna. None of these will attract Krishna to the extent that he comes and gives us bhakti. No. Only your humble attitude, serving attitude. That's it. That's what attracts Krishna. To the extent that he runs after his devotees. He is known as Bhaktavatsal. He is known as Deenavatsal. Deen means really fallen, downtrodden. Those are the people he loves. Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Patit Pavan. Yani Patit. Patit means the fallen. Fallen means the most fallen. And he's there to liberate them, to help them rise. He's not called like great Pavan or great people Pavan. No, he's called Patit Pavan. So we might have, I'm not saying we give up all the capabilities or the assets we have. I'm not saying that. But we have to understand whatever we have is actually given to me by the mercy of Krishna, although I have no qualifications. And that is what causeless mercy means. It's causeless because I have no qualification. Somehow or other, Krishna has given me all these things. So that's what we have to understand. And understand our humble position, understand our insignificant position in front of Krishna. That's when we will surrender unto him. That's when we will take his shelter. That's when we will serve him properly with the right mood. Yes, Krishna, you are all in all. I am nothing. I'm nobody. You please, and then that's when we chant, you please engage me in your divine service. I don't even have qualifications to be engaged in your service. You please engage me in your service. That is the right mode of chanting. That's what we have to develop. Like Prabhupada writing last line, the sane man should rather feel obliged to the Lord for such benedictions and must utilize such power for the service of the Lord. Such power can be withdrawn at any time by the Lord. So the best use of such power and opulence is to engage them in the service of the Lord. So I think I went over time, so I'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for this
Thank
wonderful
you.
lecture.
Thank you.
Actually, it is very, very relevant to our situation today also. Especially when I heard your lecture today, it looks very much applicable to me.
It's very much applicable to me also.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I have one
Hare Krishna.
question. Prabhuji, it is not maybe a very good question to ask, but I had some doubt in my mind, so I thought of sharing with you. Prabhuji, you have just said that it is not that we, if we have a lot of education or if even if we try to detach ourselves from, from the material world or from anything, Krishna will be pleased. Now here, if someday I get a thought that let me let me stay aloof, let me not talk to my friends, let me not let me not get associated with people around myself, whether it is devotees or whether it is material friends also. So and if I think that by this by this detachment I will be able to focus on Krishna, or I will be able to increase my spiritual practices, would you think that Krishna will be pleased? I mean, if one day
No,
if I
no, no,
start.
no, 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 no. Point is not that we should not get detached, or we should not try to engage more in bhakti, or we should not try to cultivate knowledge. Point is not that. Point is that if we get puffed up because of our renunciation or our knowledge or our wealth or our beauty or fame or money, that's not what attracts Krishna.
Okay. But it doesn't
That
mean
is the
that
point.
we should cut off our we should cut off our association with which are around us, which is what I think is even what I mean. N number of people are coming in our life on daily basis. We are getting in touch with so many people, but it is all good people also, I would say. Bad people, anybody is coming because of our own karma and also by the mercy of Krishna also. So we meet our guru, shiksha guru, diksha gurus, we meet so many devotees. That is also mercy of Krishna. But if we say that okay, from now onwards I will not speak to anybody and I will only focus on my spiritualism, so our sadhana, what do you think, is it good? Then in that case I
We
think we should all
should
stop
no. We
we should
should
also
try.
stop association.
I don't know.
Sorry, Babaji.
We
I mean,
should try to make a balance. because
Yeah.
sadhana is also important, and
Yes.
giving the other people association, which means preaching, that is also very important. So
Yes.
everybody has a different scale of balancing. So we have to see where we can balance. Because in name of association, if we neglect our sadhana, so that's also not good. And
Okay.
in name of just doing sadhana, that I'm going to chant, 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 and no preaching, no giving association, no taking care of the family, that's also not good. So one has to learn how to strike a balance.
Right. Right.
That's all.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so
You're
much,
welcome.
Prabhuji.
Okay, so we can stop here. Everybody have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shila Prabhupada.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.